All right, we should be
I'll
live.
post them now.
Okay, welcome to Axie Chat. Today we've got Enjoy and we've got a semi-surprise guest. Jihoz with us today, so we're super excited to have him here with us as well. And yeah, we
Super
have a lot to
excited.
talk about, huh?
We got a lot to talk about, and first thing, I just I went full Unabomber today. Sorry, I went full Barinar today. That player spotlight, really inspired me. I just want
I
to
like it.
pay my respects. No, reading through that, I've known you for a while already, and I think it solidified a lot of things I thought I knew about you, namely that you're old as dirt. But no, you you do deserve it. You've done a lot for the community. Axie Chat, you've done Baronar's Take. Your experiments with the whole Genesis land, I think, are really cool. Certainly in Discord, helping out new and old players alike all the time. So I know that spotlight doesn't come with any special prize or anything other than recognition, but just wanted to recognize you again on here and thank you for all you've done. And I'm sure it's just the start. So
Oh, hey, thanks, Enjoy. I
thanks.
really appreciate that. And Jiho, thanks for featuring me on the spotlight. That was super awesome. What an honor. Yeah, I'm super proud. Just glad that we're all doing this to help out the community, and that includes us. We're excited to influence the adoption of this game. We want to see people playing this game and getting excited about Axie Infinity and everything that means in the Axie Infinity universe. So yeah, super excited. And with that, we've got our special guest this week, Jiho, and thought I'd throw the little icon up there for the Twitch identifier for Axie Infinity game. Kind of cool to see that, and Jiho, I just love that. I love that picture of you. So we've got a picture of Jiho up. He's looking all dapper. It sounds like exciting things happen this weekend for you too, right?
Yeah, no, thanks for having me again. It's a pleasure as always. Happy to have featured you on the player spotlight. I think those are really fun, and kind of to let the community tell the story and create the narrative in ways that we might not even imagine. So I think those are really vital, and I think they spark the imagination of some of the newer community members as well. So I think that's really important. And yeah, no, so I had a big weekend again. Had my U.S. based wedding with some friends and family, mainly
Congrats,
family.
man. That's so
No,
that's
thank you,
so
thank you.
excellent. Yeah. Yeah, and thank you all for the support for this podcast that we're doing, and for the Twitch stream as well. We're just having a great time doing it, and yeah, we do have some leaks. We do have some have great stuff coming that we're going to talk about. Lots of exciting things happening in the Axie universe, and from just kind of talking with Jiho to prepare for this, it sounds like, oh man, everybody just needs to buckle up because there's lots of stuff that's about to happen. Um, and yeah, super exciting. And again, hey everybody in the chat, so great to see you. Thanks for hanging in here, and please let us know if you have any questions or anything. We'll address them. So let's go ahead and start talking about the news in the Axie space here. There was quite a bit of news, but I always like to start off with some of the metrics that we have here. So play to earn listed the top 6 NFT games, and here we go. Axie Infinity, number one. Number one. They have it listed at 315,000 United States dollars. And then by volume, Axie Infinity, number one as well.
Awesome. Yeah, it's good to see us performing well in terms of the metrics that a lot of people are watching. There are also I just think that the main thing that causes this is that we just have the best community. So you can kind of try and get very technical and look at the data, and that's what a lot of the people in the outside world will think. But if you're trying to get ahead of the data and predict, what it's going to be in 2 years, I think it's best just to look at who has the strongest community, who has the highest number of community contributors. I think that's really what moves the needle in the long run. So if any other games are looking to emulate our success, they should just really focus on fostering a strong community. And obviously, you need substance, you need features and things like that. But
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and hey,
Yeah, and I
thanks
just
for the sub, T-Pen. I've just
Gio,
got to
I just want
quickly.
to thank you again too,
Yeah, yeah.
and sorry if I'm cutting you off,
No, you're
Bernard. I'm
fine. You're
still seeing
fine,
your
Angelo.
lips move, but for whatever reason, I'm having some audio issues. But Gio, I just want to thank you again because I mentioned it right off the bat when I was starting up Axie Edge and when we were starting up this, you were nothing but supportive, really, kind of promoting our stuff and making it more accessible to the broader community, which, we wouldn't be around here doing this today if it wasn't for your support and helping us kind of move along and I don't know, just making everything work. So thanks for that. But I think you do make a good point. Is that community really does help kind of especially usher in new players. We see every day Indus and Z and a lot of the kind of the pro players acts helping people create teams and get set up. And it's really because of what you fostered that's helping bring those new people in and supporting the people who are trying to help them out.
Yeah, absolutely, Jiho. I'm just gonna throw in that too, and in my spotlight, I mentioned that too. Really, the community, everything that we see in the community starts with the team, and the team is fostering this really supportive attitude, this really supportive, positive uh, community experience, which is just awesome. And real quickly, I just wanted to just mention T-Pen is helping moderate the Twitch chat, so thank you, T-Pen. He just subscribed for 5 months, and I appreciate that greatly. So yeah, gosh, it's awesome. And then as we look at this, we're going to see Axie in the high spots in many of these things. This is, NFT weekly. We've got Axie Infinity as far as the wallets. We talked about that a little bit, but number one in both spots. We've got USD, Axie Infinity USD from sales, number two. Number three on USD transferred. And again, you got to remember that this isn't including anything in the Loom network. So this is not including any of the land transfers, the land transactions. And that has been massive over this last week as well. And then here we have volume, Axie Infinity, number one on both of these. And again, we talked about this last time. That's a little tricky, but still Axie Infinity in the number one spot in activity on both of these charts.
Yeah, and I think what's really intense here is the DApp transactions. Man, the next is closest to us is almost 8,000. We're at 36,000. So I don't know what's the differentiator there, but that's intense compared to just the sales.
Yeah.
Jiho, do you have any insight there? Is that partially breeding? Because breeding's definitely picked up in the last week, and that number's gone up dramatically.
Yeah, so the thing about the Axie ecosystem is that it encompasses so many different things, right? We have an NFT marketplace. We have a bunch of Uniswap pools, right? So the Axie ecosystem isn't just, measuring transactions from kind of one type of activity, right? It's like you have DEX transactions, you have the NFT marketplace, you have breeding. There are a lot of different transactions that are required for Axie, which is one of the reasons that we are building out Ronin as well. I would also say that because we've actually pioneered and created sustainable and true play to earn, people see transactions as just the cost of doing business, right?
Right.
We also we have a lot of pent up demand for people who weren't interested in playing Axie when gas was at 150, but now that it's touching 30 on some days, a lot of these people they see Axie in the news, they see Axie all over Twitter. They're probably also getting email updates and our Discord, and are now taking the lower gas as an opportunity to get in.
I actually had in my Google feed another news article pop up, and it kind of almost side mentioned Axie Infinity for a paragraph in it. I wish I would have written that one down, but it kind of blew my mind. It was talking about different NFTs in the NFT space, and it was funny that one paragraph talked about how Axie Infinity is like the top the top performer in the space, and they only talked about it for about one paragraph. I'll have to see if I can find that one again, but I just love it. I'm getting news in my Google feed about NFTs, and then I don't even think the team knew about that particular article, and they couldn't avoid mentioning Axie Infinity just because it has such a profound impact in the NFT space.
Yeah, I think that the media, we're still overlooked, and we're still an underdog project. I think we will always, even though we're on top right now, we will still always have an underdog mentality, and we will always be discounted by the media for whatever reason. Maybe because many of our team members are from Southeast Asia, or maybe it's because we just look like a cute game. People might not see the allure of that compared to something that looks, a little bit more sophisticated on the surface. So I think that we will have that underdog position for a long time. But I do think that certain upcoming events will, yeah, definitely get people who have been underestimating us to realize that they've been making a huge mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, guys in the chat, we are going to talk about leaks. We are going to talk about Jiho's famous tweet that just came out. So just hang in there. We're going to get through some of this news first, because remember, this is a podcast, and we really do want to have people have something that they can listen to and they can review, and it's something that's talking about Axie Infinity that that people can continue to consume even after this live stream. So it's important to us that we talk about all the different developments in the Axie space, and I hope you guys will bear with us. I know we all want the leaks. I know. So hang in there. Okay, so. You were featured on our network, and there were three different projects that were featured. Axie Infinity, you can see on this slide that Axie Infinity was the second one that was featured. It went through some of the growth. It went through some charts. It was awesome. What was your experience, Jiho, in being interviewed by and contributing to the Our Network group?
Yeah, definitely. That's a newsletter that I followed for a while. I'm very interested in token design and what dApps, what applications on Ethereum are actually being used. So that's Spencer Noon is the creator of that newsletter, and I find it very useful. And so yeah, it was an honor when he reached out to me to make a submission for that. And yeah, I think it was a great experience. I definitely got a little bit better, I think, at synthesizing data and writing for a broader audience. So I do some data analysis, right, when we do the development updates, but this was more for kind of putting Axie's current traction in perspective for a wider audience that might not be familiar with NFTs, that might not be familiar with Axie. So yeah, I think it was a good learning experience for me, and obviously great to have amazing data to share with the rest of that's primarily the Ethereum ecosystem.
Oh, awesome. And Enjoy, I know you had some questions for Jiho, and I think your primary question came right from this snip that I have here. Is that right? Enjoy, can you hear me? Uh-oh, we lost your sound, man. You're good. I can't hear you, man. But regardless, I'm going to ask the question I know you were going to ask. We're going to figure out what's going on with your sound. You can still hear me, right, Jiho?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So that last sentence talks about, in the future, marketplace fees will go to a community pool governed by the yet-to-be-released Axie governance token. Are you back with us, Enjoy? Anyway, I know that Enjoy and I were theorizing and wondering about that community pool. You talked about a treasury a little bit. And so is there anything you can share with us about that, or your thoughts, or is that still to come?
Yeah, definitely. So I think I've hinted a couple of times that we're looking to centralize the network more, in terms of right now, the Sky Mavis team is kind of has a monopoly on a lot of the fees that exist within the universe, like the marketplace commission, primary sales, for example, selling when we sold origin Axies, when we sold land, the breeding fee, right? And I don't think that in order for the network and in order for Axie to achieve its full potential, we can't just remain as a rent seeker extracting all of that value. I think it's better to decentralize where that value is being sent.
Right.
And basically, yeah, that's one of the reasons that we're hard at work on a governance token. This is why we've been researching token design for the last 2 years, even when it was very unpopular and people thought, hey, like no product needs a token. Even especially NFT products don't need an ERC20 token. But we've already seen, how powerful, for example, SLP has been when it's just a simple potion for creating interesting incentives to actually play the game. So.
Right. So just a utility token, and we've seen how profound SLP is. Yeah, I just so very excited. So I mean, in talking about the community pool, that is talking about specifically the governance token, and we do have a little bit to talk about with the governance token. Again, just kind of throwing out little drips, little excitement about that. So Enjoy, did I cover it all right?
I think you covered it, and I think I got my audio back. So.
Yep, we hear you. Awesome,
you guys.
Perfect. Okay. Anything else about that our network article that you wanted to ask Enjoy?
I only caught the end of it, but I'm sure you covered it. We can probably move on at this point.
Yeah. No, we did. Okay, so next we have to announce this. I mean, this has been on Twitter. This is really exciting. A giveaway for a rare Axie. You want to tell us about this, Enjoy? Is this one you know about?
Yeah. So it's not even a rare Axie. It's I think it's 3 winners who will win 5 Mio2 tokens. Is that right, Jiho? Basically, you just follow Axie, you retweet the tweet, and at the end they're going to pick. And it's only a couple, 2 weeks away. I think they're going to pick 3 winners who are going to get 5 of those Mio2 tokens. And basically, if you win those tokens, you get to roll your own Mio2. So they're pretty rare Axies, and it's kind of a mystery roll. I don't know.
You got more info, Jiho? What are you?
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, right? They're rolling Mio2 tokens. We haven't given out any Mio tokens for a while. I think the versions of those, like the floor is like 0.5 or something, so it's not an insignificant giveaway. Dap Radar, obviously, pretty cool guys in the space and doing a lot for bringing more transparency. So it's always good to collaborate with them. And then, that's giveaways for basically 15 Mio tokens split among 3 winners, right? So 3 Mio Axies.
And what's so cool about that is it will give some people who weren't around when MEO Axies were available the opportunity to participate just as though they had gotten the MEO tokens, and use that Axie Lab that I think all of us see and go, oh man, I can't do that. I wonder if I could, use that Axie Lab. So it'll be pretty awesome for 3 people to actually have that opportunity to create a brand new MEO2 Axie.
Definitely. Yep. If I were them, I'd just hold them and wait. 10 years. It's like Pokemon, Pokemon Jungle Packs, right? First editions or whatever.
For sure.
And that's what I was gonna say. If you tried to get Mio2 tokens on the market right now, nobody's selling them. I don't even know if too many exist at all anymore.
Right.
The utility in owning a Mio2 is that basically they get to breed for free. So if you have 2 Axies, you get to cut the SLP cost out for that one side of the Axie, unless you have 2 Mio2 or Mios or Origins, same kind of mechanics for all that. So if you get it, it's almost like getting half-priced breeds for the foreseeable future until you get 7 new Axies.
Yeah, no, it's excellent. In fact, I picked up a bunch of MEO2s just basically so I could breed when SLP went so high. For a minute, I was like, wow, it's cheaper to get some of these MEO2s and actually use those to breed if I wanted to. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I thought this was cool enough that we ought to throw it on here. This was a baller move, man. So this was, who was it that picked this one up?
His name is Eric.
Right, Eric.
Juta, I think. Yeah.
And so, is it somebody that you knew, Jiho?
I know of him.
Gotcha.
He's like pretty well known trader, I guess, in the Ethereum community. He's also friends with Gabby, so I think we have a whole revolution that's going on in the Philippines right now, and it's it's not just the play to earn farmers. It's also some of the people who are very interested in uh, Ethereum and maybe kind of are at the highest levels where they may be working or investing in Ethereum related projects. And so I think like Eric, I believe actually lives in London as well. So it's kind of an
So
expat.
yeah, and I love this because again, this points to rarity being such an important feature as well. It's not just utility of the axes; it's also rarity, and in this case, a specific number just makes it so that that particular axie has a higher value. And I get it, man. Having elite Haxor, that's freaking amazing. I mean, that's a one of a kind axie, and it's a number that's important, and it's neat. I thought that was so awesome,
Sure.
and what a baller move. So
Yeah,
cool.
well, I mean, 1 through 10, 420, elite. There's a lot of them that people might be interested in. 69. The interesting thing about this, so again, for
What?
those listening
69?
who nice. But for those of you just listening in, this was a Mystic Axie. He picked it up for 13.37 ETH. You can read into what that is. He relisted it for 133.7. I actually hit him up on Twitter and commented on his decimal point moving, and he moved it one more time. So if you want to pick it up now, it's 1,337 ETH, which I thought was pretty funny. And you can see the time in his auction kind of mimics that as well. So he's really playing the meme game, and who knows? Maybe another investor comes in and picks it up for that much too.
Well, what's crazy about that? You and I kind of had an exchange real quick, Enjoy. Like when you look at the rarity of axes, and then you take into your mind, you conceive of hundreds of thousands, just a huge adoption level of play. It's not hard to see that 133 ETH may not be that far out of the realm of possibility with enough mass adoption. I
Sure.
know I know that that's pure speculation, but you guys are hoping to see that level of adoption, hundreds of thousands, millions.
Yeah, definitely. I think over the next, I see this as a 10-year project, uh, and at least. So, who knows? Like, seems like we're actually starting to get somewhere. We're starting to grow now. And I think that we've really learned a lot. And I think it's kind of like at the beginning, it's like I'm a gamer, right? So it's like
Oh
at the
yeah.
beginning of a Dota match, at the beginning of a Dota match, at the beginning of a League match, it's like every little move that you make is very important, but it's kind of hard from a macros perspective to see who's winning. But then it's like when you transition from early game to mid game, some people start to kind of get a lead and start to snowball. So I think that we may be leaving the very early game and transitioning to mid game hopefully right now, and then I think we'll see the teams that have built up leads, that have built something, and start to really snowball their traction and growth.
Heck yeah. Yeah. And I know that we all want to be part of that. We all want to see this thing continue on and get, just going, get that snowball rolling. I love it. Especially as a guy in the Arctic regions, I love to see big old snowballs rolling down big old mountains. Let's get it. All right, so just a quick update. Small Love Potions kind of retreated a little bit. I think it was kind of headed back up. It's interesting how liquidity seems to affect the price in SLP. I decided that I needed to pick up one more Mystic, which at this time, just based on where things are at, meant that I got to pull a little bit out of the liquidity pool. And I actually think that may have had an impact on some of the SLP price. But guys, just so you know, like I'm going right back into liquidity. It's just going to take a minute. I just have to rearrange some things. I still am very, very strong on Small Love Potion, and the reason is I want more Axies. It has it. I'm happy to see the price of Small Love Potions go up. I think that's great for the everyday grinder mining style of player. I think that's absolutely wonderful. But I also don't mind if the SLP price retreats because I want lots and lots of Axies, man. I want Axies. I want a ton of them. I'm so excited to get those in a loving way working for me on my land and having that that pan out, right?
Yeah, I think, going back to what caused, and again, it's a minor drop in the grand scheme of things, but there's just as many people breeding as there are people cashing out now. And now with prices, or with gas price down, more people are able to kind of just constantly flood Uniswap if they need to, if they want it, if they're farming for the cash out. They're able to do that. So there's always going to be this constant battle between breeders and miners, and there's always going to be kind of this balance that fluctuates. So we'll see where that settles over time.
Yeah. And I know, Jiho, you're usually pretty reluctant to talk about SLP. Is that still the case?
Well, yeah, I mean, just SLP is a tokenized potion. It's used for breeding Axies. I guess that's all I'll say about it. It's not the thing is, like, if I say anything about SLP, people go crazy about it, and there are a lot of crazy people who, like, really want SLP to be something that it just isn't, right? And it's
Right.
an in-game resource used for a specific goal, and basically, for me to mention or talk too much about it, causes weird stuff to happen. So
Right.
all I like to say is, like, what it is. It's a potion.
And there's
Perfect.
people who come in every single day who ask about why is the price of SLP not skyrocketing, and the answer is always the same: is it's not meant for investment.
That's not what it's about.
It's a utility token. So
Correct.
let's leave it at that. But it is interesting to follow, certainly.
Absolutely, and I still, even as a utility token, I think it's important to pay attention to the price, because it's going to directly relate and have an impact on Axie price and Axie floor. So I think we do need to track it. We need to pay attention to what it is. And people, if you're being wise, you should be really thinking about that in terms of your Axie prices and pricing. Those two should correlate in some way. And I think actually the team, I think I've even seen Psych Out kind of talk about that, about how those two things should correlate in some rational way. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, we don't want SLP just to inflate to infinity, because that would also mean that Axies would become overrun the earth. So
yeah,
there's a
and even
balance.
still, though, right, Jiho,
we do have a monetary policy. We do have a monetary policy internally where it's kind of like the board of governors of the Fed, where it's like, so some team members believe in an inflation rate, that's maybe 60% plus for Axies year over year. Some people think more. So in the end, it gets somewhere that's kind of in the middle.
And
right.
again,
you're either gonna have too many Axies, or you're gonna have too much SLP, and there's got to be a balance.
The thing is, we can
is always finding that balance.
The thing is, we have a much stronger control over the Axie supply than the Federal Reserve has over the money supply, right? Because for example, the Fed basically inflation in the real world actually really depends on the willingness of private banks to extend credit, whereas we have the sole, like, basically monopoly on creating SLP and the levers that control the supply. So.
Right. There's a benefit to this being somewhat centralized. We see things like adding the energy to the PvP. We see things like, they set the levels of how much you earn in adventure, and the cap of 100 in adventure. So, I would assume, and this is by no means an official comment, but I would assume that, if they see it heading in a direction that they don't like, and it's affecting the Axie supply or the SLP supply, they can tweak these things through the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And what heartens me, and honestly should hearten the community as well, is that the team is thinking about these things. They have plans for these things. They're discussing these things. They have differences of opinions regarding these things. That shows health. That gets me excited. It just makes me really excited about the Axie Infinity development team, and that they're really thinking about these things. I think it's going to be very, very good. It's going to be a good example as we move into more of a DAO type of scenario, where we have decentralized governance with respect to maybe some of these decisions. And I think the team is really leading us in a good way to help, if it is truly going to be a governance token, to kind of set an example for how decisions can be made that are intelligent and healthy for the game. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point. Is it's not about keeping the price of SLP down or the price of Axies down, or vice versa. It's about setting an example for the future and making sure that the game as a whole functions properly. And there's a lot of different economic pieces that all kind of have to go together like a puzzle.
That's true. I think that's one thing that that Trung kind of stresses to me when he's like, when you're writing, like make sure that more so than explaining things and telling people what we're doing, it's better to also like show our thought process, because we're trying to educate the community too. It's like the social capital and like the mind wealth, I guess, of the community that all does wonders to improve the strength and health of the network.
Absolutely. And, in the chat, people are all worried about the SLP and having decentralized governance. Hang in there, guys. We're not talking about tomorrow. We're not talking about anytime soon either. We're talking about, though, a time when things are more mature and that there are going to be incentives for decentralized governance to make good choices for the health of the community. So just hang in there. I'm not trying to cause anybody stress or shock or anything like that. But truly, a decentralized governance is something that I'm a big believer in. I think it's a great idea, a great concept, and it's one of the reasons I'm so excited about the Axie Infinity universe. And again, not tomorrow, but in a few years when things are mature, I think it's going to be an awesome thing, and it's going to incentivize those who are most involved and incentivize those who have a particular stake to make good decisions and not bad decisions. So just real quickly, let's see, I went the wrong way here. Just mention real quick that I was spotlighted. We'll move on. Okay, so we are to that point. Leak City, baby. Okay, so I expect that there have been a few people like Enjoy and I who have been paying attention to some of the logo design, been paying attention to what we see. It did happen that Kagi went right after it. There was a logo that was given to some of the content creators that came out pretty early, maybe earlier than people expected. And good on you, Kagi. I mean, you jumped right on it. We were trying to be careful and make sure that
he's just using the resources given, and I'll take full blame. I went up and asked Psych Out if it was okay to talk about it. My bad, guys. Next time I will not ask, because he said hold off for a few weeks. So here we are, but hopefully we're gonna make it up to you by having Jiho here to talk about it in person.
So you guys have seen some of it. I'm going to go ahead and just put it right up, and then there's more than just this picture. Here we go. So, Jiho, what do we see here?
Yeah, so this is our new redesigned logo for Axie. We are entering a very crucial stage for the Axie community for the history of this project, and so kind of a brand redesign, a redesign of our logo was warranted. So that's that, and then you see
there's something on the top of that eye.
On the eye.
Oh, there's something there. Is it that? Oh, look at that symbol. That's pretty cool looking, huh? So what do you want to tell us about this, Jiho?
So this is the logo for our upcoming governance token. So we're entering a very important phase of history within the Axie universe, and there's going to be a lot of awesome information related to this token coming out. So each one of these, so these are called Axie Infinity shards. I won't leak the ticker.
He already just said the name.
Axie Infinity shards, guys.
We were gonna make Enjoy and the guys in the chat guess, but he went ahead and just dropped that leak. So
I was just gonna go with Infinity. It looks like a sideways hourglass, so I'm guessing that's where the I guess the Infinity sign, the sideways figure 8. either way, I guess it makes sense.
Cool. So yeah, we're not talking about the ticker symbol or anything. What we have though is Axie Infinity Shards is the name of the new token. So that's going to be the replacement for Luna, right, Jiho? That's what
But
we've got.
wait, before we jump into that,
Oh
and
yeah, go ahead.
I think that's a given. So I'm sorry, Jiho, for cutting you off, but shards is a really interesting kind of takeaway there. It's breaking apart Axie Infinity and giving out pieces to
Oh yeah.
the community. That's freaking cool.
Yes. So I think the way that you can see it is like it's a piece of the Axie universe that you can own. It's a sharded piece of the world. And one thing that I was like, we're a little bit is like, oh, they're the shards from Niftex that are kind of like being popular too. Maybe there are going to be people who complain about any decision that we make.
Oh, of course.
At the end of the day, like we're very pumped with the Axie Infinity shards, and we can't wait to tell you guys more about it. What I will say is that there's a lot of information coming out about this governance token, probably much sooner than you would expect. So definitely keep your eyes peeled on the Discord.
Oh, we all will, and we would have anyway, but even more so now, for sure. And again, like Kagi kind of said in the chat, and Enjoy made sense of it too. But if this was some sort of mastermind strategy to kind of pre-leak some information, I love it. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, so basically, I woke up at like 5 a.m. to put together a presentation for a small presentation that I was doing related to like play to earn in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like, nobody watches my presentations. Like, there's only like some very loyal people who watch my presentations. And so I want to give them, a little present or whatever. And I figured I could just, talk them into not sharing it. And actually I think was reasonably successful. So
yeah, I thought it turned out.
I thought it was an oopsie.
Yeah, so I mean, people within the team, they're like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Yeah, like that was my 5 a.m. like logic was like, my 5 a.m. logic was like, hey, like nobody watches my presentations except for, and I want to kind of change that. I want people to be, thinking that there might be some leaks, so that that might be a strategy that I keep using in the future. Who knows?
Hey, I think it's great. That just rewards people who are paying attention and really analyzing what's going on in the Axie space.
So speaking to the people who don't pay attention the same way, some of us do. A few weeks ago when he had that podcast or that interview, not only did he leak this new logo, but he also leaked some of the new land leaks that we saw a few weeks back. So we got a lot of information a few weeks before it was publicly available. So again, pay attention, not only in Discord, pay attention to everything that's going on.
Or just watch Axie Chat, guys.
Or just watch us. We try to cover
the podcast. Yep.
And again, Jiho, this is a warning to you because I'm not asking permission anymore. Sorry, bro.
Oh, come on. We still want Jiho to come on and be happy with us. So anyway. All right. So that is a massive leak. Axie Infinity Shards. I just think it sounds beautiful. Just as Enjoy pointed out, I mean, it just has a great feel to it. It feels right. It feels like it's a possession of the entire Axie Infinity universe. I'm just looking forward to more information about it, and I'm sure that's what's going to happen next. Is people are just going to be pressing. Do we have any time frames, Jiho? Do we have anything that else you can say about that?
All I'll say is sooner than you might think. Like, and there are some reasons behind the scenes for that, but all will be revealed at the right time, and that time might be sooner than you would expect.
So we keep coming up with these OP October and various different things. I'm excited to see. Now we're just coming up with different hashtags, trying to guess when some of this stuff is going to drop. And I think that's just as much fun half the time as some of the other stuff, just trying to guess and come up with it. Just like I said in my spotlight, like I think we're in a really special time right now. I think it's going to be special as things move on too. I'm not discounting that when we get more information about Axie Infinity Shards, the governance token, and how that's all going to go. That's going to be great and exciting too. But this anticipation period, this edge period, is is awesome. I mean, it is a good time. It is a good time, and I hope everybody else feels that way too.
All I know is if the leaks or the news is as good as this logo looks, we're in for something great. This thing looks awesome. Props to whoever designed it,
It
Gio.
does. What a great art team. I mean, everything that they've done is just so on point. Don't you think, Enjoy?
Our team is, they're not very public facing, right? But they're doing, they're doing some of the most important stuff. Without the art team, yeah, we wouldn't be where we are. The art team carried us into existence. There was a time when all we had was art. There was a time where you couldn't see your Axies too, right? All you could see was what the Axies were. You could see what Puff, Kotaro, and Ginger looked like. So our team has carried us at very crucial moments of our history. So there are different times. There are times when different teams step up to really lead the ship. So
That's awesome. So awesome. All right, so that is the main leak. Everybody hang on though, because there's more stuff that we've got to talk about.
Oh my God.
We've got a giveaway.
I don't know about anything else.
Well, we have a giveaway and a few things. So everybody keep hanging in. We'll keep pressing Jiho too if we can come up with anything else that we want to, try to push him on. So, all right, we ready for the giveaway?
Yeah, I think we're ready for the giveaway. So, I'll preface this a little bit. We had a new person join the community this past week or 2 weeks ago. Goes by the name of Zezima, who has a little bit of history. The name has a little bit of history, at least, in the gaming world. Anyways, they dropped a few ETH on a Genesis land and double Mystic and a few Mystics, and definitely made a splash with their entrance. And then hit me up and said, "Hey, I like what you're doing. I like that you're bringing a lot of attention to the game. I think it's really good. How can I give back?" And really, before I could come up with something worthwhile, they said, "Well, let's start this way. I've got a couple birds I'll pick up, give them to you, and distribute them however you want." So we're giving away two birds here. This one's nice 100% pure. We'll give it away right here on the chat. And I think the best way is, Jiho, maybe you do the honors. Pick a number in your head. Don't say it out loud. Between 1 and, how many people we got here? 55. Let's go 1 and 75. When you say go, chat, everybody guess. And then Jiho, when you see it, pick out the name. If you're watching the chat right now. And we'll give it to that person, whoever guesses it first.
So I pick a number, right?
So you pick a number, watch the chat. Whoever guesses it first, they win.
Okay.
But you say go.
Wow, look at all that.
All right, go.
That's awesome.
I'm seeing a lot
Just
of numbers.
Scrolling like crazy.
Names. This is the most people we've had on stream yet. I think last time we had 30. The time before that we had 17. We're up to 52 right now. This thing is blowing up, getting popular, guys.
Thanks, guys.
This is cool. I've seen a lot of numbers. How have they not guessed it yet?
Oh, so I think someone did it.
Okay, wait, guys. Okay.
Oh my God, wait. Hold up. We got to scroll.
We already
back.
got it. Hold
right,
on.
Stop.
Elite attempt.
52.
All right.
52.
There were 52 people. So.
All right.
Sweet.
Elite attempt. Maybe send.
Contact Enjoy in Discord.
Contact me in Discord. I don't know. Prove it somehow that you're elite attempt, and I'll send this out after this here Axie Chat. Congratulations. This is a nice pickup. 4 out of 7 breed bird. Definitely a good battler. We do have one more to give away though. Bernard, if you don't mind fast forwarding a little bit here.
So hold on.
I got to write down elite attempt. And guys, this is gonna be, whether Zezima, he says he's gonna kind of keep fueling this, whether or not he does, I think, between me, Barinar, and maybe some other community members, we'll keep giving stuff away. If this is exciting for you, we'll keep them going.
Heck yeah.
But anyway, so here's the deal with the second one. We got another bird here. What we'll do, I'm going to post something after this chat on the Axie Chat Twitter account. Retweet that. I'll have instructions in the post. Retweet that post, tag 2 friends, preferably not Axie Infinity friends. We want to bring more people into the community with these
Absolutely.
things. So if you can, tag it, follow the account, and Saturday at 8 o'clock, same time as we're doing this, 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll pick a winner and send it out to you guys. So again, we'll keep trying to doing these, but in the meantime, keep an eye out on the Axie Chat Twitter account. And this gives people who maybe couldn't make it tonight. I know there's a lot of people from different time zones and area codes and all that. So we want to make sure that these giveaways are accessible to everybody. So again, this is from Zezima, but we're all happy that you're joining us and making this thing a success.
Absolutely. And yeah, just so awesome. Okay, so we still have to talk about the Axi Marketplace. We can't get away from Axie Chat without going through some of the developments in the marketplace. So I'm gonna skip right ahead to that. So Axie Marketplace, just gonna kind of briefly go through it. If you guys want to chime in and give some input, that would be excellent. But what I like about it is it just seems so healthy right now. So we have actually increased the number of plots that are available for sale. For the most part, prices have either stayed the same or actually gone up. The Mystic prices have actually relaxed just a little bit. So they're very, very thin floors though. So we only have a few that are sub 2.5 for Mystics. But again, you see those multipliers. It's always worth looking at those multipliers to really see kind of what bang for your buck you're getting out of these plots. And again, I'm not saying that any of these particular plots, I just put out a video about how to value things. But you notice in that video, I didn't talk about any amounts of ETH because it's just too hard to have any direct correlation to the actual, ETH or USD or whatever your favorite fiat is. So for me, it's just better to look at these as comparable relative values. And what I'm starting to see, I think, is that we're starting to see the different plots begin to come closer to the same sorts of multipliers. I think it's going to take place over time, but people are going to continue to realize that, the better, quote unquote, the higher chest price plots are going to return more value. And so the multipliers with respect to chest to floor are going to continue to increase until it's more level across the board. On the other hand, Savannah's floor was a lot higher on a multiplier basis for a long time, so it may stay that way. It's just an easier entry point to get into Savannah lands. And so this is useful information that people should be paying attention to. Again, regardless of how you feel about any of these things, about the ETH price, about anything like that, you have to remember there are a limited number of land plots that are available, period.
Yeah,
you just got to keep that in mind. Like, some people are wanting to wait for new chests, some people are wanting to wait, but you got to realize, like, as more adoption takes place, as we get more people in this space, be careful about that choice. And again, like, not financial advice, do your own research. You got to figure that out on your own, but it's only going to become more popular. That's the only way it can go right now.
Yep. Yeah, and I'll just throw in too, I don't even care about these prices at this point, to be honest. Once gameplay comes out and once we know a little bit more about what the team has in store for us, I think that these will find their actual value pretty quickly. So, whether that's up, down, sideways, none of this really matters, because I think their utility will determine what they're worth.
And again, just to verify, since we have Jiho here, land and land play is going to be one of the key ways of gaining Axie Infinity shards. True?
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean,
Definitely.
there you have it.
Put
I
that in
mean,
capital letters. He's so excited about that. Couldn't you hear that?
there is no question that this is the way to gain governance tokens, guys. So just pay attention to that. I don't know what else to say about that. Okay.
Definitely.
So just again, Genesis. Love Genesis. So cool. And again, if you saw my quick little YouTube video, we have this one that's hanging here at 70 ETH, and the rest of them are 100 or more. And depending on how you evaluate land, that 70 ETH plot, it may not last. I may be wrong. I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm absolutely right about that, but I do know that there's some pretty big estates out there that people are looking at that have similar sorts of values. I would highly recommend that you look at Genesis before you look at other estates. I'm just throwing that out there. That don't know what's going to happen, but I know. I mean, that's daunting, right? You look at that 70 ETH, $26,000 USD. Yeah, I guess we'll see how it all pans out. I'm so excited. Okay. Floors, more floors. So just the general Axie floor. Right now, actually for 1 minute, and I missed the freaking snip. It was 11,111 that were available. And when I went to take the snip, I refreshed and it dropped it back down to this number. Axie floor is basically 0.05 ETH.
Better. I think that this is better, more healthy for the community overall.
I agree.
Gas prices drop, more people are listing, more people are breeding. It's going to let more people get in for lower price. Kind of on one side, if you've, even if you bought at the peak, your Axies aren't really worth like much less. Whatever. This is just going to stabilize the community and help us grow, I think.
I think
Yep.
it's really nice. It's really nice to have this to have gas drop right into deployment season. Ronin still won't be ready for a little bit, so we still would like to see obviously lower gas to allow people to actually play the game, right? You can't just rely on. I think if the price of Axies, it's like a bell curve, right? It's like there's a certain optimal level. I think that optimal level is somewhere around 0.03 to 0.05 per Axie. That's just my personal,
Yep, I agree.
Somewhere around there. It's like I actually calculated it out. It's like, what is the value of a 1998 whatever inflation adjusted 1998 like $5 is, and I have a kind of specific rationale behind that, but I'm not going to share it with you guys right now.
I just look at it as I was just going to say, I just look at it as if you're choosing between Axie Infinity and a AAA game on the shelves right now. If you're trying to decide, do I want to invest in this or do I want to buy this disc, to put in my console? Which one am I going to do? Am I going to go on Steam and buy this game? And $60 is about the line for a AAA game. Now with Axie Infinity, you buy a team floor price right now, you're about at that $60 mark, but you're getting so much more back. So there's still this line we've got to draw between, or there's this education we need to do with the general public about why blockchain gaming is so much cooler and there's so much more benefit behind it. And until we make that that case a little bit stronger. Not to say that some of these upcoming leaks aren't going to do it, but there's still going to be education associated with that. I think that's, for me at least, that's kind of my rationale behind why I like this price point.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's either it's like you have to provide more utility, more fun, more economic opportunities for the asset to justify that price label. So yeah, it's kind of like an interesting dynamic, and I do think that obviously we want gas to be low, and we want people to be able to breed if they have the SLP to breed. Does that make sense? Like, we don't want high gas prices to be the only thing that's keeping the population down. If the population is expanding too quickly, then there are measures that we can take to calm inflation down. But we don't want high gas to be what's acting to damper, for example, Axie's listed on the marketplace and the Axie population growth rate.
Right. And I like that sentiment too. Like having a whole stack of SLP just sitting out there is not necessarily the best thing. It'd be way better to have more Axies available for people to use or purchase or collect or however that turns out. Like I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I got to do breeding because gas prices relaxed and I got to do things, and I had a few of them turn out just surprisingly awesome. Some of them turned out surprisingly sucky too.
I mean, it's breeding is a big part of the game. You know what I'm saying? It's one of our bread and butter. So it creates a stickier community, and also we're talking about the governance token. Breeding fees are a non-trivial source of fees for the network, which once the token is out there, the community is going to be looking to kind of try and optimize.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, keeping on with the floor, we have next the single mystic floor, which just went up a little bit here, and we have it's a real thin floor to 7. Anything that's more unique is 8+. Low numbers that are below 1,000. That type of stuff, all of that is 8 ETH and on up for sure.
Yep, super thin. I think last week when we were doing this, it was about 4.9. So there's still a little bit of juggling. Some people still trying to cash out, by listing a low offer. So still room to get one.
Yep, saw one sell for 5.5. I don't know exactly how that got listed, but it got snatched up like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yeah, here we go. Double Mystics. You did good, Enjoy. You grabbed one at just under 6, right?
Yeah, 5.9.
Yep.
And again, the thing about these floors is they tend to sit at them for a long time, and now we're coming into this, catalyst season, I guess. It sounds like there's a lot of things on the horizon that may boost things up. So, who knows? The prices kind of find themselves, and people figure out what the value is, and it just sits there for a while. So we don't know if it's going to sit here or shoot up again with everything that's coming up. But
yep.
With how thin the floor is, I've been seeing some of the OG players, taking down their 16 ETH offers and boosting up to the 30s and 40s. It only takes a few until that floor doubles again, which is kind of scary considering what it was just a few weeks ago.
Well, I mean, last week, the double mystic floor, if I remember right, was 14, so it's already increased 4 ETH. Again, just want everybody to be keeping track of how all this stuff is going. That's one of the main things that we're doing here on Axie Chat is helping everybody pay attention to how things are going in the markets. And then triples, oh man, beautiful. Basically, in the 270s, 280, and then on up. These are super, super rare. I mean, there's only 5 of them for sale. I can't remember the total amount. Do you remember off the top of your head, Enjoy or Jiho?
I want to say 16.
Just
That's
incredible.
Right,
incredibly rare.
Triple Mystics is like 17, I think.
17. Right. 19, AK says.
19?
AK knows. And I'm excited. I can't wait till we get AK on here too. Like, Jiho, you have a standing offer to be here anytime you want. But we definitely want to get AK to show up at some point too. So that's the Axie floor. And I still don't think we've reached this, but Moon is happening. I'm excited for new prices. And honestly, like, we say Moon, but it almost feels like an interstellar rocket ship that's just going to keep going and going and going and going, because in my experience, like, it doesn't really retreat as far as these prices of the floor. And who knows what's coming? Who knows what's going to happen? But we haven't seen anything really retreat as far as values. SLP's gone up and down, but guys, you got to remember that's a utility token, and I know that a lot of people would like to see that do other things, but that's not what it's designed for. And we know the team.
Right.
The team's going to stick to their guns, and they're going to stick with what has worked and what their concept is as best they can.
would say is, what we're looking to do is to try and do things that have never been done before. And so, I see us as the SpaceX and the Tesla of non-fungible tokens. We're looking to take on these kind of complacent incumbents that are the traditional gaming industry that don't see how these new technologies can come in and kind of revolutionize what a game actually is. And it's never the incumbents, right? They're always kind of just trying to maintain their position. They're not looking to take risks. So it always takes a smaller, leaner team to come in and try something else. So that's what we try and maximize for, right? Is like, and all the other things, those are just a result of, it's like, are we doing interesting things that move the needle and make people imagine and reimagine what a game actually is? Because I think what we're doing is we're doing some very interesting experiments at the bleeding edge of gaming and economics. So it's kind of like it's really my dream pursuit in life, because we get to try out all these crazy ideas that have never been done before. So yeah, I think.
I mean, how crazy is it to want to reward gamers for playing the game that they love and enjoy? I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, I'm kind of being sarcastic here, but I mean, that's really at the core of this. Like, that makes so much sense. Like, gamers should be rewarded for playing the games that they love 100%. And yeah, the team should be rewarded at the same time. The community should be rewarded for how that all goes down. But it's right now, as you said, like the industrial gaming community, it's flipped on its head, and it has been for a long, long time. It's about taking advantage of people who will buy that game, as opposed to finding ways to reward people who are involved in a universe, an Axie Infinity universe. So yeah, awesome. All right, so still just throwing this up. It sounds like, I don't know, maybe it will be OP October. Don't know for sure. We'll find out. If
we got 10 days.
It's very soon, though. It's very soon, Enjoy. That's what we've heard. Very soon, sooner than we might imagine.
Do you have Jiho's tweet? Are you gonna pull that up?
Yeah.
So I just want to say I'm sitting here waiting with logs to throw on the fire.
Oh gosh, dang it! I didn't get Jiho's tweet. We'll go back. So yeah. Sorry, I didn't get Jiho's tweet on here, but Jiho tweeted on Twitter.
There's someone who's already changed their Twitter photo to the Axie Infinity shard logo.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's amazing.
That is so awesome. So Jiho, you gave us that tweet, and Joy's going to ask you about it, right?
I'm asking. Yeah, you're throwing logs on the fire. What was it?
So the way that I see it is that we're looking to start a revolution. We're starting a movement, and we need to constantly keep throwing logs on the fire, right? And it's kind of like, the more, the stronger foundation and the firewood and the tinder that you have, then the harder it is to put that out. And I think every little piece really counts, and taking a very methodical approach day in and day out really helps, in trying to be consistent. So yeah, I think we're moving into a season where I think you're gonna see a lot of movement from the team. We haven't there's obviously the governance token, land, battles, Ronin. I think we're starting to get to a really good place with those, and I'm just really excited. So that's kind of basically, I think that we're entering a new phase. We're entering a new era, and that's kind of what I wanted to convey with that tweet.
Cool. Yeah, and I agree with the Enforcer in the chat. Like, that sounds like the right release order to me. Just kind of how you went through it too. That's exciting. I think that's exactly the way to stoke that fire within the community, and with people who are going to adopt, and we're going to get more and more. It's that snowball rolling down that beautiful Arctic mountain. Absolutely. So here's this tweet from Psych Out. Did you want to say anything about that? This was where he's just saying that he'll have something to share about the governance token. I mean, now we know Axie Infinity shards. It's got to be something more than that. Any ideas, any clues, or is this something Alex is just going rogue on? He's just going to announce something.
So what is he saying? He's saying that we're going to announce something related to the governance token soon.
Yeah, in this play to earn conference or whatever it is that he's the game festival.
When is the date? When is the date for that?
I think it was November 2nd. Oh, look at him processing.
He's looking out the release calendar.
Yeah, he's got it up on his computer,
crossing things off.
Nah, things are flexible, so we won't. You'll know when you know, and when it's set in stone. So.
Well, we'll never stop pushing, and I know you expect that of us, Jiho. So we'll keep on pressing and see what we can find out.
We'll know when we know, and we'll know on November 2nd. I think is the key to take away.
Okay, I like that takeaway. I'm down. I'm with it. That's cool. Well, Jiho, as always, I want to make sure that you get an opportunity to let the community know anything you feel like is on your mind or anything important that this is a platform in which you can let everybody know what's going on.
Definitely. I think we've noticed that the community is becoming. You guys are growing up. You're becoming a little bit more self-sufficient. It's just really freeing up a lot of our, freeing us up to kind of focus on the big picture, which is amazing, man. Actually, I've thinking back to the old days where it's like, we had to be up like 18 hours a day. I mean, we still like seek to kind of be there for you guys. But yeah, it's really nice to see the community kind of coming into its own. So shout out to the mods, shout out to the angels, shout out to everyone who's helping in the Discord. It really frees me up to do a lot more of what I like to do, which is like writing, doing like token design stuff. Yeah, that's amazing. I think like we're starting to see a wave of community content creation that's getting a little more sophisticated and well put together. So I think you guys are a great example of that. So I wanna keep exploring and pushing. And I wanna see it. I think the next that I'd like to see is I'd like to see a newsletter. I think Kagyan is doing a great job at consistently making some YouTube tutorials. I would want to see maybe even more streamers come in. The art there's been like a renaissance of Axie art recently, which I think has been really cool. So I mean, I'm very community centric. I like to see the community evolving. So that's really awesome. And then I want to say is that we really appreciate the support and the belief, and I think we have a lot of stuff that's coming out that's really gonna blow your mind. I actually we were the recent growth is kind of like we thought that growth would come more after some of the stuff that we're coming up with now. The growth over the summer, that was kind of in retrospect it makes sense, right? It's like we had all the pieces of the puzzle,
right?
But it was a little bit more surprising. Whereas I think we have a methodical growth plan for the next half year or so.
That's so awesome. Yeah, and we're just excited to see it unfold. It's nice being part of that process. It's exciting. I think anybody who's in this chat, anybody who's listening, prior to the end of this year, is definitely still an early adopter. You're in plenty early. It only goes up from here. It only grows more from here. Absolutely.
And I want to say too, the takeaway for me is, Jiho, you've gotten more and more excited about what's going on over the last 6 months. We were talking to him a little bit before, and he didn't drop anything, but he certainly mellowed out for the podcast. This dude was throwing his arms up and down. He was shouting. He is so excited about what is going. Yes, he was. I saw those arms flying. But I mean,
for real,
it just seems. Look at him laughing. He knows. But it just seems like we're getting to the cusp of something big that's happening, and the team knows it. They're all excited. Again, it's been kind of throwing kindling on the fire for the last, really since Battles V1 came out back in December 2019. There haven't. I mean, there's been updates, but it hasn't been anything huge, and it's all been building to this one thing. And now they're getting ready to throw rocket fuel on it, as far as I'm concerned. And again, kind of seeing the way that they're reacting to things is, I think, telling to me, just making me more excited.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
obviously, what I try and do is be positive energy that gets injected straight into the bloodstream of the community. I think that, yeah, and then so, that's what we try and do as team members. We try to lead by example, and I think that really makes a difference. I also, yeah, and then I think that Axie Infinity shards are going to be the kind of the growth hormone that takes the community from a toddler to a full grown, ready to take on the world. So, yeah, I think it's very exciting times. And there's still a lot of hurdles. There's still a lot of hard work to do, but we wouldn't want to do it with any other group of people in the entire universe.
Ah, yeah, thanks, man.
This
Yeah,
is
and,
so
and I
awesome.
agree. The more that we can get out there, the more people doing YouTubes, the more people that can be streaming, the better. Because it feels like we are early, and so there isn't a whole lot of content for people to consume. And so I completely agree. The more content we can have out there, it serves us all. It's so good. Yeah, and again, just want to shout out, like, thanks so much for everybody turning in. I know a lot of it's Jiho and leaks promised and all that sort of stuff. Hopefully, everybody will continue to want to jump into the stream with Enjoy and I and listen to our podcast, because we plan on keeping on doing this, and we're excited to. We'll keep on trying to bring you the freshest information that we can as it's released to us, and keep you up to date on what's going on.
For sure, for sure. We're at number 8 today, so it's been over a month and a half since we started this thing. And I mean, it's definitely come a long way. We went from I think 10 viewers on our first stream to we hit over 70 today. So really cool to see more people getting involved. Chat's been active. The metrics on the actual podcast been going up. More subscribers. Still not a whole lot of comments, a lot of reviews. So that would definitely be helpful to help keep just the energy going. Again, this sort of thing is what helps bring new people into the community and get them acclimated and understand kind of the bigger picture rather than just what the latest release was, or the latest news story. So I think it's important. But again, thanks everybody for helping and doing what you can.
Yeah, so Jiho, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy. Dude, thanks so much for the fun joke of kind of doing the Unabomber Baranar persona today. I absolutely love it. So much fun to be able to have a good time, enjoy, and just kind of play around. It's a wonderful thing. So thank you. Jiho, final thoughts?
Yeah, no, amazing stuff you guys are doing, and yeah, it's been awesome to see the community grow recently, and yeah, it's been awesome to see you guys kind of step up the game on the podcast. Yeah, always let me know if there's anything I can do to support you guys more.
Just leaks.
And
Lots and lots of
yeah,
leaks.
yeah, exactly. I'll keep the leak train coming. Yeah, and shout out to everyone who came tonight. The 80 people or 70 to 80 people who were watching or watched, probably do the kind of the core of the community,
Absolutely.
at least this time zone side of the world. So
right on. All right. Well, hey, thanks. Enjoy. Any final thoughts?
Nope, nothing for me. Thanks,
Okay.
Jiho, for joining today. Thanks for giving us I think the first official word on Axie Infinity shards. That's so cool. Thanks for keeping us on the top of our game. That's really cool.
Absolutely. And again, we'll have this on replay. It'll be on podcast. Enjoy. I'll get that set up. We really appreciate you guys tuning in and hanging out with us. Just go Axie. We're so excited. Just have a great day in Lunacia and in the Axie Infinity universe. Take care, everybody.
See you guys.
see you guys.